All right, we have a special guest this morning, U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg joins us live in the 16 WAPT studio. Sir, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me in.
So you are here in Mississippi to highlight President Biden's investment in infrastructure. How exactly?
That's right. We've already got billions of dollars and hundreds of projects coming right here to Mississippi. I'm here to highlight that and to see some of them for myself. I've been spending the day yesterday and will be much of today with Representative Benny Thompson, looking at the very different kinds of projects that we're supporting. Everything from the port in Rosedale. This is a slackwater harbor where they bring in goods and export the amazing crop and farm wealth of this region out to the world, to feed the world. And today we'll be in Jackson looking at Medgar Evers Boulevard and the improvements we're doing right in the heart of the city. In the southern part of the state, in the Gulf, we're fixing I-10, about $60 million going to improving a key stretch of that interstate. So whether we're talking about roads and bridges, highways, ports, airports, so many parts of Mississippi and so many places around the country are getting these investments so that we have better transportation systems for the future.
And you're in Jackson today, but you were in the Delta on Thursday, an area that needs investment. What was your take from that visit?
That's right. We sat down with community leaders in Greenville, heard a lot about their needs, and a sense that there has been decades of underinvestment, that so often federal dollars were passing this part of the state, this part of the country over. But people in the Delta and communities in the Delta deserve to have good transportation just as much as anybody else. And so we were talking about how some of what we're doing on a short line railroad connecting into that port and the work at the port itself at Rosedale Boulevard is going to make a difference for so many people, both the 600 people who work in facilities directly connected to that port, but so many more people. You know, there are a lot of family-owned farms in the Delta.
Right.
At a time when America's farms have been more and more gobbled up by corporations and conglomerates, we want to support those family farms with good supply chains. That's part of what we're working to bring to the Delta. And we heard about some of their visions for the future, too.
And today here in Jackson, you're meeting with truck drivers. Why exactly?
Truck drivers are absolutely critical to our supply chains. If you just think about it, whatever you had for breakfast, the clothes we're wearing, probably whatever device you're using to watch this interview, all of those got to you thanks to truck drivers. And we need to support those drivers. So I'm going to see what goes into training them, and we're going to have a conversation about how to make sure that we are recruiting and retaining more people in this absolutely vital profession. I'll be over at Total Trucking, looking forward to that conversation.
That's awesome. And you're here with Congressman Thompson. You guys are planning to tour the Medgar Evers Home Museum and participate in the groundbreaking nearby to mark the start of construction on rebuilding Medgar Evers Boulevard project. Why was that project so important to the Biden administration?
Well, there are several reasons. First of all, this is just an important route in a part of the city that has not always gotten the attention it deserves. I've talked a lot to Mayor Lumumba about the importance of those investments that he's trying to bring to make the streets of this city safer. And part of safety on the streets is having roadway designs, even little things like lighting, all the way through to the engineering of a road that can help prevent crashes, can help protect pedestrians. But there's also some symbolic depth to this. A boulevard named after Medgar Evers, somebody who is such a huge figure in the history of this country. And I can feel that history in June. There are a lot of anniversaries right around now, including that of the Civil Rights Act. And I know that I will be on hallowed ground when I visit the Evers home later today.
And you also are having a roundtable discussion at Tougaloo College with Congressman Thompson, with city leaders from across Mississippi. What do you hope to gain from those conversations with the leaders of our communities?
Well, you know, I was a mayor before President Biden asked me to be transportation secretary. I know what it's like trying to move a community forward. And in my view, the measure of our success as an administration is whether we're helping local leaders do their job. So I want to understand their needs, especially when it comes to transportation, how we can help them meet their mission, serve their communities. And I know that Representative Thompson's putting together a great group that will help us get a better sense of those needs on the ground so that I can make sure when I'm back in Washington that we're doing everything we can to be supportive.
Well, I think we're running out of time, but I do want to say before you leave, you can't leave Mississippi without having some fried catfish.
All right, I'll put it on the menu for lunch.
Congressman Thompson knows the spot, so
I'll ask him the best place to go then.
We appreciate you for joining us this morning and for visiting Mississippi. And you guys heard it from here. Secretary Pete Buttigieg here with us this morning. We'll be right back after this break.